now. All right, cool. So today's presentation, I'm gonna let Rob take this off. When it doesn't seem like all the effort is worth the reward. We've all been there. We're just putting through all the work and then still not moving fast enough. What? WTF?
All right, here we go. Yeah, good one today, guys. All right, so when it doesn't seem like all the effort's worth the reward. So as always with this, we're gonna play full out, take notes, ask questions if you have them. Feel free to interject in there. So don't get stuck in your own head. It's something that can easily happen on this. Sometimes the journey's hard. Here's how to overcome times when you're feeling frustrated, you're trying hard, and you don't feel like you're making progress fast enough. So it's all happened to us at some point in time, and what we're doing is equipping you with the tools that you're going to need to be prepared as you continue on this journey. So reasons why you might get frustrated. Maybe you hit a plateau. Maybe you feel like the weight's not moving fast enough compared to what you think it should be. So compared to other people. So maybe you're sad because you don't get to do all the things you want to do when you want to do them, have the food you want to have when you want to have them, all those things. Maybe sometimes you even regress here and there. Sometimes we can put some weight back on, we see the scale jump up, it can be discouraging. So making changes and sustaining them can absolutely be difficult. It can absolutely be difficult. It can be frustrating. You know, I'm doing all this stuff, my body should be responding again exactly the way I think it should be, because we all have these outcomes and expectations of ourselves, and when we don't meet that, we can get upset or frustrated. Sometimes it seems like a lot of hard work for little reward. So we're working so much, but only seeing little reward. The fat loss and weight loss can take a lot of effort, and sometimes it doesn't seem like there's a payout, right? Sometimes it's like, man, I'm putting in all this work and I'm just not seeing it. So progress can start to slow down, especially at first if we have not done anything in a long time, and then we start implementing all these changes. It can make a lot of progress really quickly. And then if we have in our head, well, I should make this type of progress all the time, then that can really skew, you know, what's going on, because it just doesn't tend to work that way. And just know, like, you're making big changes compared to where you were and what you're doing in most cases, and those eventually do start to slow down. So just knowing that that's going to happen is powerful. And also in comparing yourself to others, because there's always going to be somebody that's bigger, stronger, faster, better looking, and all those things, more successful. So if we're comparing ourselves to other people, we're always going to find a way to be like, well, I'm not doing as well as so-and-so, right? So you have to just be aware of that. So other things in your life can affect your ability to follow the plan. So sometimes things happen that are outside of your control, sometimes with other people, sometimes with your environment. And we just got to know that and plan on something like that's potentially going to happen. I've talked about it before. Life is a series of obstacles and challenges, interrupted occasionally with crisis. And just knowing that those things are probably going to happen, and anticipating what are you going to need to do if they do is going to be super helpful for you. So just understanding and being aware of what's going on, because especially if we have some type of, you know, thing that doesn't go our way, we can, the inner toddler in us can come out sometimes, and we can throw a little tantrum. And sometimes if something happens that's significant, like maybe, you know, there's a death or something like that, then it's easy to be able to use that and just completely let everything go and be like, well, because of this happened, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm just not going to worry about that. Right? So it's knowing that those things are going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just part of life. And so having a game plan in place to be ready for when something like that does. Because thinking you're going to maintain the initial results that you just started to make when we changed everything is just not realistic. All right. So operating in a mindset, it'd be like if you just started strength training, your strength tends to increase rapidly at first. But if it kept going like that, and there'd be people that are lifting, 5,000 pounds, and it just doesn't work that way. Right. So we do start to, there's a bell curve in this, that initially we make a lot of really good progress, but the closer we get to reaching our full potential, the more work we have to put in for less of an outcome. But that doesn't mean that it's not happening when you aren't still making progress. So expecting that things are going to get difficult and understanding and being aware that that's happening is going to increase your capacity to deal with things in the future. Because it's not that things get easier, things actually, will get harder, but your ability to deal with difficult situations and circumstances is going to improve. Your capacity to handle more things is going to get better. To understand also, some weeks are going to be more difficult than others. Sometimes we can just have things that just stack up. It's like, what was it, Murphy's Law, that anything, that can happen will eventually happen. So just know that sometimes things stack up and it's going to feel like everything's coming in on you, but know that is just a phase. It will pass. There will also be weeks that go really good for you. So it's just asking yourself, what are the advantages you gain by following through with your commitments, by staying on plan? And then, what's the cost of doing nothing? What's the cost of not doing that? So some of the advantages when you're following the plan and making progress is know that you're making long-term sustainable changes to your behavior, and you can take those changes with you for forever. Again, you're learning a skill set through this that you're going to be able to have for forever. And when you can take that into the difficult and challenging weeks, when things run smoothly, like it's gravy, right? It's when you can make it happen when things are tough, that's when you can get ahead. All right. So what's the cost of doing nothing? If you don't follow through with your commitments, you'll be back where you started. You'll condition yourself to quit when things get difficult, to quit when things get hard. And that's not how we want to do it. That's not how we want to roll. All right. So how to deal with frustration, logically, think your way through. When have you had a difficult time in the past, and how long does that feeling really last? When we look at it over the course of like a week, because we can all get in these, we can all get inside our head and feel these feelings of, man, everything is difficult, and why am I doing this? But if we look at the course of a week, when there's like 160 something hours in a week, how many hours in a week are we actually feeling that way? And look at it like that, it's actually a very small percentage. All right. So just know that you will get past it. And the faster you can realize, okay, I'm thinking in a way that's not serving me. Let's get out of that and focus on something that's empowering. The quicker you can get through that. So a good question that you can ask yourself in a situation where you want the thing that's in front of you. If you had the choice of instant gratification of your goal and outcome of what you want for your life, what you want for your body, you could just instantly have it, or you could instantly have that piece of pizza or whatever it is that's going to take you in the wrong direction. Which one would you pick if you could have it instantly? Of course, everyone would take the outcome we want with our health, with our life goals, with our body, of course. So sometimes it's just playing those little games of thinking about it in those terms to help us make better decisions in the moment, helping us do like a procrastination of, okay, I can have that thing if I want it, but let me just put it off for a minute. Let me do this other thing. And if I still want it, then I can have it. Does that make sense? So you can still, have the opportunity and get to have your favorite foods, just not whatever and whenever you want. And so knowing that is a big part of it, because for you to just have whatever, whenever you want, would just not be responsible any way you could. So if we put that into, financial freedom terms, Joe, financial freedom, we know, doesn't mean that you can just go and just gamble at the casino whenever you want because you're financially free, right? So it's the same thing with food freedom. You can have whatever you want, but within the guidelines, and then it's, do I want to make this trade-off? Do I want to have this thing, that maybe tastes good, but is so calorically dense and takes up so little room that I'm not going to be satisfied as far as the amount of food I get to eat in a day if I make that choice, right? So you're learning the skill of being able to eat responsibly. You're learning the trade-offs you can make to eat in a way that you enjoy and still reach your goals. So, and this is just about, always increasing your level of awareness. So I think we talked about the reticular activating system part of your brain, that once you become aware of something, once it's on your radar, it could be something that you've never seen before, but once you become aware of it, you can see it everywhere. All right. So that's going to be the same thing as just, having the habits and rituals in place that allow you to enjoy your food and enjoy this process. Because if you're thinking about this as a diet, we go on a diet, we go off a diet. When we think about this as a sustainable way of life, how do I make the way I eat set up to where I like doing it, and at the same time, it's helping me achieve the goals that I have for myself? That's when it becomes a win-win. And that's just how, just learning, what works for you, what you like, how it can be sustainable long-term. So, and just in this, just having an eating schedule, using MyFitnessPal and planning your next day is going to save you so much time and mental space. Because has this ever happened to any of you before? You don't have a plan. It's a long day. You've been working. It gets to the end of the day and you're like, oh man, I need to find this. I need to enter that. And you know what? F it. And then we just end up doing whatever, right? Because we don't have a plan. When you have a plan and you already know what you're going to do, that saves you a ton of mental energy, because at the end of the day, we all have what's called decision fatigue that sets in. We've been making decisions all day. We don't want to make decisions anymore. We just want to do whatever. So when you have your plan in place and you already have it mapped out what you need to do, then it's much easier to execute on it. So being prepared, having a plan is going to save you a ton of mental energy, and your perspective on food and exercising can change as you do that as well, just having a plan. So conclusion, a week here or there that sucks is normal. It doesn't mean that life is over. You're actually learning the skills of lifelong sustainability. So the more difficult weeks you have, the easier it's going to be to deal with things in the future. So having those challenges, those are the ones that make you grow. If we didn't have any challenges and any struggles, we wouldn't get any stronger. All right. So problems might get worse, but your skills get better and you get stronger and you become more resilient. So I'm going to do a little team activity here. So I'm going to call on some people. So when was the last time you felt frustrated about your results, where you felt like your efforts didn't add up to the reward? What did you do? How did you get through it? So I'm going to start with Matt on this one.
Okay. I would say it's been about a month. I started getting to that plateau. I've been stuck where I finally got to the point where I reached out to you all to get past that plateau. I was feeling frustrated because I was I was hitting the gym an hour or more, doing full workouts for an hour a day. And I'd get to the point where I wasn't losing anymore. I didn't feel like I was gaining anymore. I was just at that point stuck.
Got it. So you reached out and now you're already starting to crush it.
He's losing weight. Your workout's down.
Awesome. Love it. All right. And so it's knowing too that, when it comes to like the exercise part, that it's not about the more is better. Because if we get into the more is better, then it's just more. And then something happens in our life that causes us to have to take some time off. It could be an injury, something like that. And then it seems like an insurmountable task to pick back up where you left off. So it doesn't have to be like that. So knowing that we're learning how to work more efficiently and getting maximum results with minimal effort. So Chris, let me hit on you. When was the time you felt frustrated about your results? And what did you do? How'd you get through it?
Well, ever since I started working with you, I haven't really been frustrated about my results. I've been getting exactly what I've wanted, I guess, as far as my health and body and stuff, you know.
That's very cool.
That's why real life feedback's awesome.
Yep, exactly. That's why Train was saying that's why real life feedback is awesome. And you've been crushing it, man. So not just in the fitness and nutrition part, but just in life. So you're just continually growing as a person. And it's really cool to see that happen. I don't know if you guys have seen Chris's transformation, but he's pretty freaking ripped up now. They're starting to call him snake arms at work. He's all vascular.
Just you.
All right. But maybe it's just you. But yeah, it's pretty cool. That's awesome, man. Super proud of you, man. All right. Derek, when's the last time you felt frustrated? Maybe like you're hitting a plateau. What did you do? How'd you get through it?
Pretty much just went over not enough sleep, and you trying to go to the workout and knowing that you can do a lot more, just the tiredness just kicks in. I mean, I've been doing pretty good this week. Just all of it's full body is sore right now, so it's kind of tired. Planning to call it an early night tonight.
Good. So how'd you get through it? How are you powering through?
Just trying to get more sleep. Turn off electronics at 9. Try to at least, and then get more sleep.
Good. So you're sore all over.
Sore all over.
Love it.
Like you got hit by a truck or something.
Make sure he's protein.
Yeah. Make sure you're getting enough protein, man.
Yeah, drink two scoops.
Good. Awesome. All right, Susan. When's the time where you felt frustrated about your results? And what'd you do? How'd you get through it? Because you are down freaking 70 pounds and have broken through so many plateaus.
She deadlifted 85 today.
Deadlifted 85 today. That's freaking awesome.
Well, it happens to me on a routine basis. I don't know. It just seems like I'm doing well and then I hit a plateau or hit a bump or something. But, y'all have helped me understand that, you got to stay with the program, and then just sometimes tweaking, some protein here or there, up or down, or a little bit seems to help. And then sometimes when I totally go off the rails, I just go back and I do like the cleanse that you did the very first 2 days, and you do that and you reset everything, and then you just keep on going again. The other thing that interesting, I hit a plateau beginning of this year, and it just didn't seem to, whatever I was doing wasn't helping. And I went and saw my doctor. And if anybody's on any type of medications, sometimes those need to be tweaked, because like even this week, I'm totally off of my blood pressure medication because I was dizzy every time I stood up. So let your doctor know, if you're losing weight or you're getting stronger. If you're taking medications, you may need some adjustment on that. And once he changed one of my medications, it's just started up again, losing and getting stronger.
Wow, that's amazing. So off medications, always improving your level of awareness, so many plateaus broken through, so many breakthroughs just in a lot of different areas. So that's really freaking awesome. We're so proud. We brag on you all the time, Susan. All right, let's go with Diana.
Diana had the lightest weigh in after vacation.
Go ahead. Yeah. Lost weight on vacation.
Yeah, I think I finally figured it out after, I don't know, since we started. Like, I've been plateauing and I just been frustrated because my calories went down, but I wasn't losing really much weight. I kept going up and then down, up and down. So I was pretty much staying at a little under 150, but then I realized, like, I don't know, I think too much protein for me, I think it was upsetting my stomach.
Mhm.
Because I have no gallbladder, so my digestion is really bad. So I just been, researching, and ever since he told me to lower my protein a little bit more, I did increase my carbs up and my fat a little lower too, and I just started dropping from there, and I have more energy than I used to.
That's really cool. It's
And
awesome. Just a few tweaks and adjustments can make all the difference.
yeah, so my body likes carbs a lot.
Awesome. All right, is Mickey there with you?
No, he's driving home.
Okay. Got it. You're crushing it. You're doing freaking awesome.
Lightest weigh in today.
That's so cool.
Tell her.
All right. And lightest weigh in today so far. All right. Very cool. Let's go, Joe. What do we got? When's the time you felt frustrated about results and maybe you felt like you were hitting a plateau? What'd you do? How'd you get through it?
I mean, I feel like I hit them. This is silly to say, but I feel like I hit them kind of regularly, because if it's not dropping, like there are some days like today, I think I dropped like a couple pounds or something from yesterday. So like if I don't see that every day, I get frustrated. So like I would say I probably get frustrated more often than I should, because I mean my rate of loss has been pretty great since I started. But I think what it is usually, I'm one of those personalities that I like to know the details as to how things work. So my first thing is always like, okay, well, what did I do yesterday or today that messed that up? And so like, and sometimes I'll go to ask you questions like, hey, here's what happened. Why did this happen? Because I know there's a reason. It didn't just happen just because. Like there's a reason it happened. And sometimes if it's one of those things that you can explain to me, kind of like you did earlier today, well, in a 24-hour period, if you weigh differently at a certain time, it's because of whatever, So like there's a reason. It's not because I didn't do something right or the program didn't work, or it was just a matter of maybe I weighed a couple hours earlier today than I did the day before, or what. So there's always like a reason. So I think as I increase my understanding of the ins and outs of the program, of the process, of how the body works, of all those things, that's what really helps me break through. Because then, I always just remember, I think it was like Allen Iverson that said, just trust the process, right? So I always just try to go back to, okay, so if I just stick to this, even if I had a day or two that wasn't what I wanted, if I stick with it, over time it'll work, because it's not linear. But when you look beginning to end and you just connect the first dot and the last dot, there's always going to be that negative slope, meaning I lost weight, and that's what ultimately matters. So I just try to keep those things in perspective as best I can.
Awesome, man. Love it. And you're down how much so far?
Well, a couple weeks before I first talked to you, I was 345, and then today I think I was just under 313, and that was, I mean, it's been about 5 or 6 weeks.
Nice. That's freaking awesome, dude. Crushing it. Love it. Love it. Is Autumn there with you?
No, she's at home and she wasn't feeling too hot, so I took the kids out to give her some time to herself, and so she's not with me, unfortunately.
Okay. No worries. All right. All right. Jamie, tell me, when's the last time you felt frustrated about your results? What'd you do? How'd you get through it?
The last time is actually has happened quite often. It's been kind of my my thing in the past, where that's caused me to get like be on a diet, think that everything was going so well, and then I step on the scale or I try out a pair of pants and nothing has really changed, and just didn't have the right tools or the motivation. Well, yeah, the motivation or the support to stay the path. So my last time I really got frustrated, how I got through it was I called you guys. And it's been working. I've been doing really good ever since.
That is freaking awesome.
Jamie, you're at the lightest weigh-ins yet, and then you have so much going on. Fostering 2 twins, by the way. Give her congrats. She's going to foster 2 twins in addition to the kids she already has, and they're going to be coming to your house Monday.
Monday, yeah. So there's like daily calls. That's why I was late. I'm so sorry. I really feel bad, but I was on a call about like nonstop calls with lawyers and stuff. It's been nuts. So
no worries. But congratulations, because
Yes.
you're seeing amazing results even through this stressful time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Luis. Haven't heard from Luis for a while. When's the time that you were frustrated with results, and how'd you break through it, man?
Frustrated results. I think it was working with some of the old nutritionists that I was working with before, hitting the calorie numbers. I just felt like no matter what I was doing on terms of the calorie portion of it, the scale wasn't moving. So then, the coaching wasn't working, though I found you guys, and you guys have been kicking ass, man. So yeah, everything's been really great in terms of that moving forward. So I find that, if it's not working and you're actually giving it some time, then you just got to kind of move on and, find something that is working. So that's the one thing that I like about this, is that if it's not working, you guys are really real, and you guys just tell me straight up, where you guys don't, you guys don't fluff and buff me, you just tell me what I need to hear and what I need to do. And that's what I like. So it's good.
Awesome, man. How much are you down now so far?
Well, I got down to 220, and then we went out of town, and then I got to 226. So now I'm back down to 223 this morning. So just went right back on track. So took the girlfriend out to Denver, had some food that I didn't like, but I listened to your travel thing, and it felt, it was good. And I felt like it was a really healthy place. I even worked out when I was out there, tracked all my calories and stuff, which if I didn't, then, I would have probably came back 10 or 12 pounds heavier, which I normally do during a weekend vacation. But having some restraint, I only came back 6 pounds, and I already lost 3 of it. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I know I gained some weight over the weekend, but it actually felt really healthy coming back, and it felt good. So felt solid, man.
Awesome, dude. Crushing it. Proud of you, man.
Oh, Luis, let's do a one-on-one. Reach out to me.
I just emailed you Friday at 1:00.
Okay.
So
Solid.
Perfect. Yeah. I saved that email, so I'm going to get you all my numbers and stuff like that. Yeah. We've been tracking the numbers since that. And then since talking with you guys about, I think midways and things like that, we've been tracking our clients a lot different, which has been working really well. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I really want to start scaling up. I'm tired of this, and things are moving, good. I just want to make it fire, man. Throw some gas on that fire and really start to do it, man.
Just to give everybody else a heads up, Luis has a fitness studio. He's also a coach. So your coaches have coaches. That's why we continue to grow, and we take you guys to next heights. So
very cool. Yeah, totally worth it, man. And you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys. So
cool. Awesome. All right, Mickey, I see you're there. Tell me, when was the time you felt frustrated about results? What'd you do? How'd you break through it? So when was the time you felt frustrated with your results, where you felt like the efforts didn't add up to the reward? What did you do? How did you get through it?
Man, it really almost happens every week with me, to be honest with you. It seems like I know when I hit a plateau, I know what body's doing what's doing, but it just seems like I'm kind of just stuck.
I can barely hear you for some reason.
You sound like you're like in a goldfish bowl.
I am.
No.
Is it maybe your Bluetooth or something like that?
Yeah, maybe it's connected to another microphone or something.
Is that better?
Yes, that's better. Yay, Diana.
I can barely hear you now, so I'll just, as long as you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, I don't know. I probably felt like it last week. Last week was a pretty rough week for me. Felt pretty frustrated the entire week. Even though I stayed on my calories and stuff, it just, I don't know, just seemed like nothing was moving forward with me. Probably stress. So
What
who
was it
knows?
moving forward, Mickey?
Huh?
Was it your performance like you were talking about? What was it moving forward? Was it your performance?
Performance, like sleep, like not eating correctly and eating the calories, but not going anywhere with my weight or my look of my body. Last week was just weird. I was frustrated. And then even though we went to Dallas this week again, I still stayed on my calorie target. Like I knew we were going to eat Friday and Saturday, so I ate very little breakfast and lunch. So I did that, and I still kind of maintained my weight. And now to this week, I feel a lot better.
Awesome.
Good. And then Mickey, just to give you a heads up, whenever you're kind of like Derek, your results are not going to be like everybody else's where you're seeing the scale drop a whole bunch. Yours is mainly like you will see the scale drop whenever you shed the fat, but really it's going to be body composition. So
No, and I'm not worried about the number. To be honest with you, I think I need to be heavier, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the next step. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start building up some muscle and see what that's going to look like. But are you bothered because it was the picture that you sent in and then the lighting was weird and then your abs disappeared? Is that
It
what
just annoys me. It's like in January when I did the 42-day shred, my abs look better then than they do now. And
no, that's not true
really
because your pictures look good. I got to show you the pic. You shouldn't compare yourself to the picture you took at the Dallas hotel room because it made everything white.
That looked like I binged all week and ate 10,000 calories, and I took the picture. You know, it annoys me.
What?
I work hard Monday through Friday, and for the most part, the weekend I stay within the calorie target. But I may eat out, but I stay within the calorie target. But it like screws me. It's like work hard 5 days, 1 week, even though you stay with your calorie target, it like starts you all over again. Like we're doing that thing on Monday, like me, Jamie, and like Dinah, we're doing like, and Mike. What does Mike do? Does he just starve himself? Mike, our trainer, he's like down like, we're doing like $5 pot every Monday, right? Ever who loses the most percentage of weight. And I'm literally up on my weight from 2 weeks ago.
Well, with Mike, like he likes to, if he does a challenge, what he'll do is he'll like binge, or I won't say binge, but like the night before, he'll like eat a bunch of crap for like 2 days. So he'll have a really heavy weigh-in. And then I've seen him do it multiple times. So then his weight will drop like crazy. But that's not what you do because you already lost all the water weight because you've been doing this for a while. So what he'll do is he'll literally like, oh, I ate pie. I went out with Misty. I went out with Kim. And then he'll just like eat whatever he wants to eat. So that way his weight drops faster.
He's all about it. Me, I'm just sticking. I was going to ask, I bet it's been hard to meet my 150 gram protein. I'm usually going over like yesterday, I think it's like 168. I'm going over like 15, 20 grams every day. Is that really that bad affecting me? Do I really need to stick with 150 and no more?
I would stick with 150 as accurate as possible because we're going to start getting in your macros pretty soon. So just practice.
Like I should be 150 or less or 150 or more?
I would prefer 150 or more.
150 or what?
More. More is better than less for you.
More. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm doing more for the most part.
That's good.
Okay.
Cool.
So don't be bothered by that picture. If you guys like, the backstory is like him and Diana, they traveled to Dallas and then they take their pictures when they're in Dallas. And then Mickey took a picture where his abs disappeared because of the lighting. And then I knew you were going to say something about that because I saw it and I'm like, he's going to say something about his abs disappearing because the lighting is just like straight on. So you can't see any definition. It just whites out your body. So that's funny. Don't be bothered by that because the other pictures
every-
I showed you, your abs are showing.
Every weekend's screwing me. Like this week, we got a wedding to go to, and we're going to Shoguns, and I think we're doing some dinner every weekend. It's like the devil tempts me. I just need to like stay home and like, I don't know. It's tough. It's like I really like. This is my dinner that Dinah's making me. It's like all this chicken and this, and then the quinoa, and that's like what I'm eating. That's what I do every day, and it's like I'm eating these delicious apples that she makes with cinnamon on them.
Awesome.
But then the weekend just screws me every time.
So it just create a plan, you know. It's very, whenever you're at home, you're in a control environment. This is everyone. You're in a control environment. You got to know, you know exactly what's in your food. But that Diana and Mickey, you guys like to go out, you guys like to travel. So learning how to navigate while traveling is a big part of it too, because I mean, like if you had abs and you look freaking awesome, but you can't ever see your friends or ever, you know, live life a little, what kind of life would that be? You know what I mean? So you got to find the balance. Like Diana's starting to find the balance pretty well, like figuring out what works for her and losing weight on vacation, that type of thing. And then, you know, Mickey, you even stayed with your target. So I feel like that's just awesome. You know what I mean? So learning how to navigate situations like that is definitely part of this program. Because yeah, anybody could just like lock themselves at home and get results, but now we have to learn how to navigate life, you know, like with Jamie getting two newborn 1-year-old foster children and still being able to lose weight. And, you know, who else? Like you guys just having all the situations that you guys are in, like Joe James, you're like a business owner trying to run a business. You have 2 tiny kids and you still have to figure out how to fit all these things and still losing the weight. All this stuff you have to navigate through life. So if everybody lived in a bubble, yeah, you're going to get really great results. But part of it is also, you know, navigating through life and figuring out how to live a little bit too, you know, in moderation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got it.
Cool. All right. So just going back through, so just update on vacation stuff. So I wanted to show you guys.
Here, let me get it for you. Rob was really, really excited to show you guys this.
Yeah. So this was just looking back at vacation week. All right. So
our vacation week, just to give you guys a heads up for the people who weren't here, Rob and I went off the rails last week. So 10 days ago when we went to.
So this is the week before vacation
Florida.
right here. You can see average weight, 226, average calories, 2860. And then here was vacation week. All right, had 2 weigh-ins and there wasn't a scale.
Look, 6,000 calories a day, 9,500 calories in a day, 7,800 calories in a day, 6,000 calories in a day, 6,500 calories in a day.
So what this did though is made, even though there were 2 days that were less than 3,000 calories, these other numbers took the average of every day to 6,000 calories. So what you do in 1 day and 5 days can have an impact. So let's look at this next week when I got back. This whole week, I went from an average weight of 226 to an average weight of 232. So I was over 230 on all my weigh-ins until the very last day of the week. And now in the current week, weight is finally back down. So those 5 days, like that can equal weeks, sometimes a month of damage you can do in a short amount of time. So because we were where we wanted to be in a maintenance point, you know, we got to decide, you know, that we wanted to make that trade-off and know, okay, what I'm doing here is potentially setting me back a month. But it's, you know, how quickly do you want to get to where you want to be and be comfortable and stay there before you start making those trade-offs, or just knowing like if you do that, like anytime that you're going out to eat, you are guessing, all right? Because I averaged like on these numbers that, okay, looks like I probably went over about 21,000 calories over my baseline number, which would be about 6 pounds of fat added. So when I stepped on the scale though, it was even more, right? Because these numbers were guesses. When I had each piece of pizza, I wasn't taking it apart and weighing the cheese and, you know, I wasn't doing that. I just put in, you know, a pizza amount. So anytime we go out to eat, we don't know if the chef in the back is doing a 3-second pour or a 6-second pour, even though we might grab the highest number value that MyFitnessPal says, we still just don't know. All right. With that said, though, you still have the opportunity to make the choices that you want to make. So you have that freedom. Just know along with that comes, potential setbacks. So you get to decide, ultimately what you want to do, what trade-offs you want to make. And if you want to eat something that fills you up versus if you want to eat something like, if we choose to eat a donut, we can eat the donut, but just know like what that's going to cost calorie wise. And are we willing to make that trade-off? Sometimes we are, sometimes we're like, nah, I would rather have this other thing instead. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to Q&A now. If anyone has any questions about anything, feel free to throw them out.
Right here.
Yeah.
So I had heard where Diana said she doesn't have a gallbladder, and I don't either, but I have been on a high protein and have been for a while, and that's what got me from 215 down to 180 before I got into my plateau. I wonder if eating that much protein would be somewhat of an adverse effect at this point now also for me, if I should think about changing up things like that or not.
So when we talk about high protein, that's like subjective. I mean, what is high? How many grams of protein you actually taking in?
Anywhere from 160 to 200. Most of my diet would be high protein.
So what we'll do is, we're still really early in your stages. Is we'll figure out, what's going on. We'll collect some more data and start tweaking some things and make some modifications and changes. But right now, your weight's already starting to trend down.
Right.
Yep. So I think just by us starting to get some accurate tracking and measuring going on.
Well, I had laxed for the past 2 months on tracking anything, where I was accurately tracking it when I first started doing all of my working out. And training. I started because I was training for the marathon, of course, which we won't have now, but
eventually.
So I'm still going to get in that marathon.
Awesome.
So Matt, part of this process is we're going to basically track to see where you're at for the first week or 2 weeks. And then we start to hone in on what goals or what targets work best for you based off of what data you're recording and reporting to us. You know what I mean? So, Diana, she responds really well with the amount of protein we got her, but because it's not an emotional process, it's not like I think, I feel. It's not going to be that. So it's going to be more like, or it's going to be like that in a sense where I'm going to ask you your feedback. So that way we want to make sure that you're getting to your goal without feeling restricted, or because if you're feeling restricted and you're feeling like hungry and not good, then that's not sustainable, right? So that's why the weekly check-ins are really good. So, by the way, be sure everybody turn into their weekly check-in tomorrow, Thursday, by tomorrow night. But like, just keep turning those in and we'll keep making tweaks. And then the best way to know is to try and to see what results we get.
Will I be getting my first weekly check-in this week?
Yeah, you'll be doing your first weekly check-in on Thursday. It'll be on your schedule.
Okay.
Awesome. Anybody have anything else? Cool. Well, you guys crush the rest of your week. We're going to have a really awesome mindset mastery on Saturday. So you guys definitely don't want to miss that. Matt, do you have something else?
I have one more. So if I'm ever up in the city, am I allowed to stop by the gym and use the facilities?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know because I know my mom lives up that way. So I go up there sometimes and I figure if I'm up that way,
just let me know first, because it's like, because of the COVID, we have to do reservation only and all that. So like, you need a heads up because you have to reserve ahead and on all that. And there's cap classes and all that just to keep numbers in.
No, I understand completely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys freaking crush the rest of your week. Talk to you all soon. This recording will be dropped shortly.
Bye, guys. We're so proud of you. You guys are all crushing it.
See you later.